because these are two of the biggest names we do have here at Pro League. Now, Flash, as you did mention, one of the most winning players here, tied at 15-8 with Maru as a top Terran player here, and he's 5-5 against Protoss and really doing pretty well here in his most recent games, 4-1. He has that upwards golden arrow, looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's using that tape right now to make sure his keyboard doesn't move. That's what he's famous for, that, along with his ruler. Now, I say that he's not one of the strongest players on KT right now, just simply because the other players are looking better everywhere else, but Flash is winning a lot recently. Now, Hero is 4-5 as well. He did end up losing his match yesterday, so that's where that 5th loss comes from. But he also has that Grandmaster border because he's tied in first with Flash, 15 wins and 9 losses, and he's 4-4, a pretty even record against Terran. This is a matchup where I feel Hero is slightly favored, but the map is good for certain Terran scouting, for example, with those early Reapers. This could go either way. I really want to stress, I feel like a win for Flash is more devastating to CJ than a win for Hero is over Flash because of the lineups we have here.
Yep, I definitely agree with you.
All right, let's go into game number 1. It's time for the semifinals here for round 3, Flash versus Hero.
SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left in the red KT roster, it is Flash.
The god of StarCraft, as they call him. Down near the bottom right is Hero, guy who's won several individual leagues, great IEM player and winner, an IEM finalist against SOS. Obviously tied for first in best wins. And he's no slouch, man. He's definitely one of the best players CJ has to offer right now. Their best Protoss.
Yep, 100%. Of course, we got the GG girls over here cheering for either side.
Did that shirt say "cross my toe"?
I don't know. I want to get another look at that shirt. I wasn't really looking. I was trying to read what the sign said, but I don't know. We'll get a good look.
Can you cross your toes?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I don't know. My toes are like too short, or like I don't have the dexterity.
You can cross your big toe right over to your second one. Try now.
No, I can't. Maybe I could
Really?
with some practice. Yeah, no, I can't do it.
For me, like I was always really easily able to do my big toe over my second toe, but my pinky toe I could never do. And my brother had this weird thing where he had to always have them crossed, or like he would be uncomfortable, and
That's
that it like made me uncomfortable to see it. But I never understood how he was able to do that without his hands. Like he'd just have them crossed at all times.
I have like that thing where I can't really do the Star Trek symbol with the V. I struggle to do that. Just talking on this issue, I just watched you do it flawlessly. Looks like we are going to see a CC first, but also with a very important scouting SCV.
Yeah, want to be safe here. You know, you always got to just, if you're going to go for CC first, especially on a map like there's a lot of areas to proxy. You just want to be careful. You can't just go CC first blind.
No, you can't. It's definitely not going to be ideal to do that. It's too risky. So, just looking at the situation we have right now, I mean, it's opening up to be a bit of a more economic play for Flash, but the faster tech for Hero, and even an eBay block without scouting SCV. So he's going to try to get a huge economic lead from this.
Nice. I like this. He comes in, he sees no Nexus first, of course, and he's just able to block it really easily. This is going to be so annoying. It's going to force Hero to make that Zealot that he doesn't want to make, and it's going to take a while to kill that thing, and it's just going to be canceled. It's just a little trick you can do, of course, to block the Nexus for a very long time. The SCV stays alive, and he's going to get a full scout of the base. See only one gas.
Yeah, sees only the one gas here, and that's a good sign for him because he's like, not only do you not have your base, but you only have one gas, so you can't do any sort of faster tech. Getting that Mothership core out is going to cost you a little bit more, and Warp Gate research delayed, but I like this choice to get the Mothership core out first. He doesn't cancel the Zealot as he realizes what's going on here without even a scout, and sends that down. So this eBay block isn't going to last as long as it would have had he decided to cancel that Zealot, assuming there was no eBay block. So a good situation right now for Hero in that regard, but Flash definitely in a great spot economically. His 2 orbitals are popping up here, and he's actually going into triple barracks at home, it looks like. So he wants to put on some heavy marine pressure. very, very soon.
Interesting. You know,
no cancel. Oops.
That's not something that Flash wants to have happen. Maybe, you know, even a little bit of nerves getting into the mind of this guy, just not paying attention at that exact moment. Loses, of course, those 125 minerals, as our observer did point out. Going to send out another SCV here, just wants to get the scout on once again.
And there's that robo I was talking about. Really feel like this is the best way for Hero to open here, considering they've only had a little bit of time to prepare. I think Hero's the better late game player in this matchup specifically. That's my opinion on that. And I think, like, you know, Flash is not a bad late game player, but I feel like Hero has a slight edge on him here, so there's no reason for him to try to get cheeky. Nice kill there on the SCV. The Zealot gets that scouting information of exactly what's going on and gets that SCV kill.
Yeah, and that second SCV I was talking about scouting is actually sneakily hiding over there. I wonder what he's going to hide, or maybe just save him later for a scout, maybe for that third base, see the timing of that.
He didn't see the robotics, if I'm not mistaken, so... You know, that's what you miss when you don't go for a Reaper opening on this map. So you might be thinking, what if you hide Oracles? Or what if you're going Oracles in your main base and you're going to send that around the left side of the map and want to spot that? Or maybe even in some weird, crazy case, a Warp Prism.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're seeing here. Actually, he's sending it in here late now. Wonder what the plan is with that SCV. I'm just kind of peeking at it down there on the bottom left.
Yeah, we both got our eyes just watching that little guy go across. As these two guys, you know, begin to power up. This is basically what's going on now. We're even seeing the observer follow this guy. Wants to see maybe if the third base is coming up early. That's where he's going for now. And now he's going to go towards the front and see what kind of units are there.
And actually, there is a Warp Prism coming out here. So 1 sentry only right now, so I don't think we're going to see some sort of crazy contain, but I suppose we could. Not a lot of gateways added yet, so I guess what he's going to do is drop maybe even the Zealot, the Sentry, and the Stalker. See if he can get some damage done and then take his third base with the Colossi to be safe behind it. And that's what I'm expecting is going to be the natural flow of things here.
Yeah. Now the Flash going heavy with the Marine production here in the beginning. Going to be a little bit later on that tech. Is going to have that factory only up a little bit now. A little bit later here, he's going to go for that engineering bay as well. He wants to get the missile turrets up here, of course, because he's not exactly sure just yet what Flash is doing. What Hero's doing. He wanted to send that SCV in and try to see what his unit composition was, see exactly what was going on in the base. But, you know, like you said before, because the Reaper did not come out, he's a little bit lacking on the scouting edge of things and has to drop those missile turrets.
This is really cool. This observer is spotted by Flash. So he knows he couldn't kill it, but he knows that his base is going to be scouted. But he can't really afford to send any SCVs over there since he doesn't know what's coming, or rather any Marines, because if he sends Marines over, then maybe a drop comes in. This Warp Prism will likely be able to deny the base, and with all these gates here, could he actually be going for a two-base Colossus push?
You know, this is not something we see very often, but it's beginning to look that way. He stopped probe production at 45, just trying to get those Colossi out with the range. He adds another barracks, another 2 barracks. Going up to 5, or not barracks, gateways, 2 extra gateways here. And he's going to have a ton of units here, and he stopped making probes at 45. I think we could see something like this going on. Made that Warp Prism while the Robo Bay was getting up. Yeah, it's looking a lot more like this as we go along.
This Warp Prism is actually going to keep Flash back right now, too, while he sends a ton of Marines across the map. And that Colossus that he has out, plus the second one that's about to pop, is going to make this Marine push nothingness. And the Zealot sees this already. Hero is in a great spot right now. I'm really worried for Flash. I guess that was in range of that missile turret there, so that's why the observer got picked off even without a scan. But he doesn't see the turrets, or rather the Warp Prism coming into the main base. Let's see what this gets done. He could try to target down that combat shield upgrade. He's going to go for the reactor instead.
Warps in 4 more Zealots. He's going to focus down that reactor with that those couple of Zealots. Definitely wants to get that. He spent a lot of minerals to get this. And now most of these units with the stim up here for now, they shouldn't get any more damage here done. They might want to target down an SCV, but fail to do even that.
And he starts Vikings. I think he's starting to figure out what's happening. The Colossi are coming across here, 2 of them with range. And the Warp Prism is still alive, which means it can be used as a forward warping point. All of these units are so low on health because they stimmed. And, I mean, he only has 2 medevacs right now because he's trying to get Vikings out. He doesn't have enough Vikings out either. Flash may just die to this push. He's desperately trying to get these 3 bunkers up right now. And here we go. 2 Colossi with range starting to pick away. He eliminates the SCVs from the bunker. There's the triple cancel. Flash does a big stim here, but the force fields deny that DPS.
And the Colossi in the back with the range. That's the biggest thing to note here. The force fields are going to keep the units back, but the Colossi can still hit it. And he's got so many gateways to follow this up with so many units. Flash pulls the SCVs, and a nice time warps goes down. the units are starting to get past those force fields. He's trying to get a nice concave here, starting to focus down that one Colossus, but he's not able to. A third Colossus comes in here as well, and it looks like Hero's Push is going to do it.
It looks like it, man. He's running in the medevacs desperately away here. One gets sniped, and this is just way too much DPS. He now focuses down the turret. He's got Flash contained in the main base. That third CC is already lifted, and this one is now lifting, so he's only mining off of one base, whereas his opponent has that full saturation, twice the worker count, and the army here that is absolutely the better one. And with all the production with those gateways, he's just keeping on warping in those gateway units. And this orbital, actually, a few volleys away from death, looks like he will save it, but I don't think it's going to save him.
No, I'm not sure. A bunch more units pop out here, and there's two Vikings trying to hit down those Colossus, but Hero just says, I have enough. I'm going to push straight up the ramp. It wasn't the most, efficient fight here, but I think he might still be able to take it.
Yeah. I mean, with all these Stalkers warping in, I think that he should, but you know what? It's a lot of Bioforce here with medevac support. Vikings actually on the ground doing okay for him. This orbital is going to probably be targeted down. It's like so low, and he just needs to shoot it with a few Stalkers. Okay, he does get that, but don't forget there's another orbital still alive that he's got floated over now, actually landed at his third base. And Hero did a lot of damage. He needs to regroup, though. He needs to make sure no drops do damage to him, but I think he's actually going to have to pull back and transition. Now he's getting a Templar Archive or a Twilight Council up with that Forge. He will be switching eventually into Templar Archives. But he has this economic lead in workers so much so that I feel like he should still be okay, even though he lost all of his army there.
Yeah, I think another thing there was that even though he was, just trying in the game, just trying to push up, he got that third orbital, and that's so important. You don't want 3 orbitals with mules going down in triple SCV production here when Hero is only on 2 Naxi. And so getting that is very important for, staying ahead here. He's going to try to take his own third base here while just getting these Colossi out, continuing to get more upgrades, getting the +1 to armor and blink.
Now remember that drop tech I was talking about, that's the one thing Flash has Hero really needs to worry about and deny right now. 4 Marauder drop coming into the back, draws all of the army, which is tiny right now for Hero back here, while he's meanwhile going for a drop at the natural. Is there a Nexus overcharge there? There's 4 Stalkers, and that's not enough. Actually, in fact, only 3 Stalkers here.
Yeah, warps in 1 more, but the units here with Stim and 2 medevacs, they are going to be okay. The Colossus needs to get over here, and it finally does.
Flash is clawing his way back into this game little by little right now, and he's evened up the worker count quite significantly. Hero still wasn't able to make that 3rd Nexus because he had to use those warp-ins to defend, so he didn't have enough minerals to make it, and that's hurting him here a little bit. I'm almost wondering if he's actually just going to try to hit another 2-base timing with the army that he has, knowing there's not that many Vikings.
Yeah, he may want to do that. I mean, he's already got 2 Colossi out. Let's see. I mean, I see a little red dot down there towards the 3rd base, but here we go, another drop, but no. Looks like there's enough units there. The Colossus as well as a Stalker should be enough to push those back. These Vikings are eventually going to hunt down this Ore Prism.
Now, I don't have an observing PC again today, guys. The monitor still wasn't fixed, and I'm very sorry for that. I mean, I'm not sorry myself personally, but, I'm sorry that I don't have it for you guys. What I mean to say is it's not my fault, but if I had it, I would be a much happier person right now. Now, okay, I finally get to see a production tab again. So he is continuing pro production, and he is going to start that Nexus here. And Flash never was able to restart his own 3rd. But with his army size right now, and with the Viking count he has a bit of pressure power he can actually start to utilize here. I mean, he has a ton of Marauders. That's the most important part.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, if you look at Hero's army right now, he's got 7 Stalkers, 3 Sentries, there 4 Zealots, and the 3 Colossi. I feel like if he gets a bunch more Vikings here and he deals with the Colossi, his army could be enough to overpower. He got the +1, starting to get the +2 to his units as well. And he's actually starting to push across the map here. I think he's beginning to realize this himself as well.
Yeah, I think he may have scanned and he's like, wait a minute, you still don't have any High Templar. I don't think you have enough Zealots. You don't really have charge. So he's going to be aggressive here. And if he splits his Marauders, Maru style here, and takes a good fight, I mean, the thing is, he doesn't know about this, but I think he could get the 3rd base for free. But this still could be a really good trade for him. Attacking this angle, though, gives a lot more time to Hero to get a few more Colossi out, and maybe even get that +1. Is he just going to, okay, he's just going to pick off this pylon here on power of these gates, even maybe start to kill the gates, and if the Stalkers get too close, they're going to want to run away.
Yeah.
They're starting to take some damage, and I think Flash is now significantly ahead in this game, I would even argue.
Yeah, it's beginning to look like that. He's held off on that 3rd base, and this army is going to be so hard for Hero to deal with. He's going to need some godlike force fields as Flash pulls around the other side. Could even kill those rocks and, open up another path here, but I don't even feel like he needs to do that. He could definitely pressure at this third base.
Oh, those Colossi are so exposed right now, too. If any Marauders or any number of Vikings get over there.
And look at this. He's pulling SCVs. He's got up to 8 Vikings now. Looks like he's going to pull everything. I think Flash knows that he has this timing, and he's going to go for it.
And what's really cool is that he shows an SCV looking like it's going to make a third command center to that hallucinated Phoenix right before the hallucinated Phoenix dies. So for Hero, I don't know if he really knows the gravity of this situation right now because he has no observer on the map. And even had he known about this, it's pretty tough to prepare. He needs to get his Colossi fanned out because this is going to be the fight that decides this game right now. Hero was the attacker, but now he's the defender. 9 Vikings in this army versus 4 Colossi, and the Stalkers up here starting to realize, oh my god, we better blink out of here. There's the Nexus Cannon. Decent time warp here, but those Colossi are not getting the damage done.
They're not getting it done. It looks like there's just too much Terran army here. Some more Zealot Warpins from the left side. Will it be enough? The Colossi start to fall down. One pops out over there to the north as well, but it looks like Hero's army pushed into the corner is going to go fully down, and Flash has done it with the counterattack.
Wow, and that's it. That's game. Hero takes his hands off the keyboard. He's lost all of his probes here. And Flash now moving into the natural.
The Flash fangirl's going crazy here in the studio. There's the GG.
Wow, Flash starts the victory train here for KT Rolster. And like I was saying before, man, this is so much more important than had Flash lost for these two teams' rosters for who they have available.
Yeah, man. He puts up his finger there. He's like, that's win number 1, man. Who do you got next for me? CJ Antis, do you have a counter for me? Were you thinking about me or were you thinking about Zest? TY? No. You got to deal with me first.
And boy, oh boy, does this set a bad situation for CJ right now. Losing one of their better players in a matchup, in a build where he was so ahead. He had Flash on the ropes. Flash was almost dead. His command center burning down. Saved his third orbital. Hero doesn't look too upset by this, but
no.
Honestly, I think it's time to, unless Hydra is feeling some sort of snipe build, or Gumio is feeling a snipe build, or even Effort really. I mean, I guess he could be. I would actually go Byung here. You need